Hello and welcome back. This is MC1 Gamer bringing you an update on the part of the hobby that has gotten me into historical battles, specifically into Saga. Recently, in the interim between with the void between End Times for Warhammer Fantasy and the introduction of Ninth, something that I'm going to be going in depth with. I'm actually going to be joining up with some people from the club, and we're going to be doing some regular podcasts talking about Ninth Edition, and we'll go into more detail about that in another video, introducing that and pointing you to the website where you can get some more information on that. But in the interim, I've explored a number of historical games. Anybody who has been frequenting my channel in the last few months has seen that. My apologies for the limits in terms of the amount of videos that I have been introducing. I've had limited content for a number of reasons. One of which is that my home PC, the motherboard fried, and I've been using my wife's backup, basically our home backup PC in the interim, and it's not set up with the audio and the webcam, and I just haven't gotten to it because I'm looking to, of course, replace and build my own. So once I get that, I'll probably start doing some more videos, some more hangouts, and joining some people who have been asking me to join in theirs. But in the interim, I have been exploring other game systems, including Bolt Action and the Battle Group series, Kursk Overlord, a nice alternative to Flames of War, I think a superior game, and also Saga from Gripping Beast. And I love this game. This is a great game. So I've already done one slight unboxing. I know these are not necessarily new boxes. People have seen these things for a while. But for anybody who's looking for alternatives or is new to Saga and is looking for some less expensive ways to jump into the hobby, or maybe what to get when you're building your warband, this is for you. So updates. Currently, I have my Warlord medal. Did a nice trade for that. Not really coming out good. As you can see, his sword broke. I just was trying to rebend it. It was a little bit bendy, and that's why I don't like metal miniatures too much. I mean, they can be strong in some cases, but they can be also very easy to break, and that's not something that's easy to fix. But I'm not worried about that because these boxes have lots and lots of bits. And I'm sorry for the glare there, guys. This is not a studio. This is actually, those are the hi-hats on the ceiling of my basement. I'll try to limit the glare. These boxes have tons of stuff. So I'm going to jump out and actually show you not just what's in this box and why I got this box, but also what's underneath, which is the Hail Caesar book, which is for just the large-scale battles, all in the historical sense, ancient battles. And I'll go into why I'm going to be looking at this now. I'll go talk about that first. Obviously, Saga is a skirmish game. And in a skirmish game, you can have circular or square bases. Now, this is the Warlord. So if you don't know the details of how that works, he has a much larger base. So he's going to have like a 40 mil base. And the rest of them are going to have just the standard 28 millimeter sized bases, which I think are like 20 mil bases. But they're going to be square bases. That's what our group is using. And so I'm going to be using the 40 mil, the monstrous infantry bases that I would use for those multi-wound monsters in Warhammer. I'm going to use that for this. Now, I've seen a lot of pictures with Saga where they're on circular bases. And I don't know if I see that. See, now on the pictures here this is actually from Gripping Beast, you'll see that some of them are square bases. I think the reason is because if you use it, if you want to ramp up and use for much larger battles, you can use this book. And this book is, it's a great book. And it does have, I actually think I just opened it to that. It has rules for much larger scale. And in that larger scale, they're going to ramp up into blocks with square bases, very similar to what we see in Warhammer Fantasy. Now they also have circular bases, so it really depends on what you're playing. But you can see, let me see if I can get that page going here. Everything. There we go. So you can see there's square bases. It really doesn't matter in Saga how you base. It even says it in the rule book. Doesn't matter how you're going to base them. You shouldn't try to base for advantage. So, but you can double up, triple up, or whatever. But A lot of these boxes actually come with square bases, but you see a lot of people doing round bases, and I think that's just a preference. I might do this guy just for him because he's not going to rank up in a unit in round base, and I might not. I might just stick with the 40 mil base because I have a number of them, and I have some metal sheet pieces that I can put on the bottom. But this guy, this is a really great figure. I'm going to see what I can do with him. I'm obviously going to look to convert him a little bit because I'm going to be replacing his sword, but that's not the nature of what I wanted to show you necessarily. Just letting you know some of the details. But this is what I wanted to show you. I got another box. It was the Herdmen box, which comes with about 44 plastic pieces that can be your Hearthguard. It could be your warriors, but it really doesn't work for Levy. Levy doesn't typically have a lot of armor, and it doesn't have the other box with all the warrior types. They all wear armor, and but they don't have. There's no options for bows or slings. And for Vikings, you can use bows and slings for your levies. And you could see here that there's some options for the bows. I'm not sure if we see that here. So if you want to have, say, like 12 levies with bows or slings, you can't do that from the first box, and you're certainly not going to do that from the actual box that of course I can't open this now. That if you get the official metal box with all of the, with the full 4 or 6 points army. Sorry for doing. It's a little hard to do when you do it one-handed. So let's take a look and see what comes in the box. So here we go. A lot of stuff here. Okay, so we've got all these sprues. This is going to be plenty to finish up doing a 6-point army or a 4-point army with all kinds of options. So it comes with a number of sprues, as you see here. So plenty in terms of the options for arms and legs and bodies. A little bit hard to see with my background. I'm going to move some of this away so the contrast against this is a little bit easier. So a whole stack of those. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, just with various different body, and that's just in the first stack, bodies and arms. And then looks like here's 2 sprues. You can see there's the bows, shields, various different swords. So yeah, I'll be able to replace my Viking sword. See if I can maybe mash up a little bit nice carving on the hilt for something that befits the warlord. And some other options here. You can see there's various different types of axes. So you really can customize the guys that you're going to be putting into your warband. Obviously, javelins, and of course lots of different types of heads. So then, of course, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more of these warriors, and then so it looks like there's 4 total of these accessories. These different accessories, the shields, different heads, different weapons. Specifically, I'm looking at the bows. So we're looking at enough bows to make, I would say, 2, 4, 6, 8. It looks like 8 bowmen I could make. Now, I'd like to make 12, but I'm sure that I can find some options. I still have plenty of Bretonian men-at-arm archers that I can probably skim a couple of bows off of. But I have plenty of guys. With this box set, this one comes with, it says, let's see, I don't know if that's what it is. Is it 32? Let's think, 32 multi-part figures. So between the first box, which gave me like 44, and this one with 32, I've got all the options I need. And what I like about this is that these guys are not armored. You can take a look. They don't have armor. So you can make these your levies. And I'm sure you can use these for others as well, other warbands as well for levies. Just use different heads. But this gives you plenty of options. So there you have it. I'm going to start putting together my warband. I think I have plenty now. in order to do so. And I'm going to be putting them on the square bases. So I'd like to get your, any opinions that people have about that for Saga. If you really have an opinion and you feel like, you've had experience with metal or round bases, and you'd like to weigh in and tell me what that experience is, or if you've played Hail Caesar on a larger scale with the various different armies, and you used the same figures for both games, weigh in. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your opinions and your experience has been, and your basing preferences. And we will report more as we start putting these together. And certainly I'm going to start reporting some how-tos if you're looking to get into Saga, and of course some battle reports. And as I said, this is going to be in addition to doing some bolt action. I'll be showing what army I'm going to be putting together for bolt action. Just to give you a little foreshadowing, it's going to be a U.S. paratroopers focus. So Screaming Eagles or Easy Company, something like that. And I'll be using a Hellcat, and I'll start expanding from there. So I have about 700 points roughly with various accessories. So that's what I'll be doing with bolt action. And then, of course, the Battle Group series, which is the 15 mil World War II, which is much larger scale battles. I'll be giving some updates on that as well. But in the meantime, here is my Saga update. Hope you'd enjoy. Have a great day, everybody.